Hey guys, so the eruption is still going and it seems nothing has changed from yesterday. They said yesterday that it was maybe slowing down a little bit. The biggest craters are the ones that have been the biggest during the whole time of the eruption. They have created the biggest craters, so that is still going on, and we know the gas pollution is a big problem, and there was heavy gas pollution in the Blue Lagoon. And we know just a few days ago a worker had to be hospitalized because he was an employee of the Blue Lagoon and he's been working outside in a backhoe in the area. But now there is nobody in the area, but there was a lot of gas pollution. So the eruption at that Sudnuka crater has been like blowing lava out at a similar speed and force like last night, and it is still erupting steadily. And it seems that the main lava streams are coming out from the same three main craters that we have seen last night. And the crater that's the northern crater, that's where the most is coming out. And the lava flow seems to still continue in a western direction south to Hagafell, south of Hagafell, and there's this mine that has been completely filled up by lava. They have released a time lapse of how this has been filled, a gravel pit, gravel mine for material that they have used to build the defense walls in Grindavik. And they have also made a statement that it's super expensive to design these defense walls and of course to build these defense walls. It costs a lot of money. Fairly high values of gas pollution have been measured in the Blue Lagoon, but they said they're decreasing right now, and the values have reached 6,000 micrograms per cubic meter, which are very unhealthy values. We already had like yesterday 9,000 micrograms, but 6,000 is still a lot. And the pollution was measured at these high levels, but also has been dropping since then. And it really depends on the wind and weather forecast. So the distribution forecast for Tuesday is that it'll be southwesterly wind today. And of course, the pollution will be directed towards the Blue Lagoon again and Sudurns. And then in the evening, it's going to turn northwest and west. So that's the news about the gas pollution, guys. Yeah, and since we're already talking about the eruption, it seems the eruption is really raising the interest of tourists in Iceland. So there's a company that does helicopter flights, and the flights to fly over the eruption site, over the lava fields, they're booked till Good Friday, and they have been booked all the time, and they're saying we have a lot to do. The company's name is Nordflug, and so they're flying to the volcanoes, to the eruption at the Sudnuka crater series, but they're also flying to other areas. But last week they couldn't fly because the weather was so bad, but they did start flying to the eruption site again since last Sunday, and they're flying every day if the weather permits it. So interesting. The tourists are the majority of clients. That's what they're saying. So those who have been flying to the eruption centers, to the craters, the greatest interest is that the tourists want to see this from the air. They're saying there's some Icelanders too, but the majority is just the tourists. So it seems it is a tourist eruption. But you know, the tourists, that's a problem. It's not only that they're coming from the air, they're also coming into Grindavik, and the residents of Grindavik are quite upset and angry about this, and I'm fully with them. So they have these checkpoints that you have to pass if you want to enter Grindavik, because Grindavik is only open for residents, for business owners, for civil defense, or for people that have any ownership in Grindavik. So not for normal people. Press can come in the same way as the residents now, but no tourists or no other Icelanders that live somewhere else. But the residents are reporting that they keep seeing cars that are stopping at homes and checking out cars and stopping in driveways. And they have reported about a certain incident that there was one car, someone was jumping out of the car, checking out properties, and there's recordings of that incident of that car. And so the residents that were in town at that time, they didn't then check whether things had been stolen or what is going on. Are there really looters coming in? I mean, we know these looters all over the world. These people are, I don't even know what to call them. If there's an emergency and people are in a dire situation and you go there and you steal their stuff and you loot, this is just horrible. These people should go to prison for a very, very long time. And so, yeah, or something else, who knows. But yeah, this is what Grindavik residents are reporting. And they're also saying that these checkpoints are basically useless because they're saying, well, they asked me for my social insurance number and that's basically it. Could be anyone. I just say them and then within a few seconds, you're through. So basically what they're demanding, give residents a resident passport. And if you don't have that resident passport, you cannot get through the checkpoint. And you know what? I think that makes sense. Should be something pretty easy, right? You register somewhere, and I know, guys, now you'll say the barcode thing, and I'm usually with you, but you know, have a barcode on your cell phone, the checkpoint scans it, and then you're through, right? Something like this, because I really think there shouldn't be any tourists or any other people in that town, especially when it's, you know, nobody lives there full time, or at least it is advised not to do so. They can do so now. So they have not officially evacuated or locked down anything. But of course, right now with the gas pollution that is coming into Grindavik and stuff like that, there has not much been going on. But still, this should not happen in my opinion. And that's just not good. Grindavik is not in a state to be lived in fully anyways. I mean, a lot of infrastructure is still not functioning. Last night, Grindavik was without power because it seems the main cable that is coming from the Swartsengi area, from the Swartsengi power plant, and that leads into Grindavik has been damaged. And it seems it's been damaged around where they're building the defense wall. So it seems maybe the defense wall basically has damaged that cable. But good thing is, by Tuesday, by today, it has been restored. Grindavik has electricity again, but this has been also a thing, like on, off. But yeah, they're quick to restore it, I have to say that. So we have a statement from Arman Höskuldsson. We've heard from him before. He is a volcanologist, and he has given some statements regarding the eruption, how long he thinks it will last, and how intense it still is. So in his opinion, it is starting to decrease significantly, and he thinks this can be deducted from the fact that now the lava flow that you see that is being spilled out of the craters is now very, very noticeable. So he says the gas is starting to be faster now than the actual magma that is coming out. And that's why this is causing this, and it's more noticeable. So he thinks that the eruption will end shortly as the number of craters is slowly decreasing. So there were 7 to 8, now it's maybe like 5, maybe it's even less. And then, of course, he was asked, will we now have a longer time between eruptions? Will it take longer until we see the next one, since more magma has flown out of the magma chamber underneath Swartsengi? So what he thinks about the current one, he doesn't think that it will survive until Easter, but then he thinks that the trend will probably be similar to the last eruption. It could be that more time will pass between them, but he thinks the pattern will repeat: land rise, magma chamber filling up until it has reached the maximum point of elasticity, and then it will send the magma on its way to cause another intrusion or an eruption. Because that is his opinion, when the current eruption subsides, the magma reservoir is still filling up, will still fill up. But he says there is some data that shows that the inflow into the magma chamber underneath Swartsengi is being reduced. So that is an interesting thing that needs to be watched once the eruption has stopped. Is the land rise still happening? And is it rising at the same speed that it had been rising the last few months, right? Always when the eruption stopped, the land started rising with pretty consistent speed. So that is what we want to watch. Once the eruption is done, is it rising fast enough, or is it still rising as fast as it did before the eruption, or is it really rising more slowly? Because that gives us an indication what is going on underneath the surface. So very interesting. And of course, if the land rise is slowing down, that also means the time between eruptions, the time frame will be longer, because what we have experienced from the last eruptions and the times between them, whenever the magma chamber has reached an amount of magma between 8 and 13 million cubic feet, and you can't really measure it very accurately, but something around that. I mean, this time we were at 30 million cubic feet, so to speak, to see this eruption, and maybe that's why it's going longer. But 8 to 13 million cubic feet, then you can estimate that there will be a new eruption, and the flow rate from down into that magma chamber was estimated at about 500,000 cubic meters per day. So that has to be determined if that fill rate will still be the same once this eruption has stopped. And yeah, guys, and then I think this is the end of my quick update, but you know, some of you write me in the comments that I'm basically waking you up with my updates and the video notifications. Hey guys, sorry for that, but you know, that's why you always have to have a coffee ready. And one comment is from one viewer, Eva. She's writing quite often, and Eva watched my last video. She said it's 3:02 a.m. Tuesday morning, and I'm totally a silky-holic and never skip a video. So shout out to Eva. She's 70 years old. She writes, and she's always been fascinated with volcanoes. So she writes, love and peace back to you, Eva, and thanks for watching my videos in the middle of the night. And she's not the only one, Butterfly, right, in Pennsylvania. And Garlic Man, I used to keep you up in the middle of the night, and it's been fascinating. Whenever I release a video, bang, you're there in the comments, and you're always the first. And yeah, one of my viewers was basically been with my channel from day one, and so many of you guys, which is amazing, who have come with me along on the ride, or how can you say, with this channel, and I really appreciate that. And I'm always happy to see you guys in the comments and to see that you're still there. And yeah, so if you have some questions, ask some questions in the comments, and then if you see someone ask a question and you want me to answer this specific question, like the question, so that I know I pick the questions with the most likes. That I think that's a good suggestion that one viewer made. So let people ask questions and then see which ones have the most likes. So we will try this in this video. Ask me some questions and I'll pick, I don't know, maybe let's say 3 with the most likes. I hope I will find the ones with the most likes. The sorting algorithm of YouTube when it comes to the comments is not ideal, I find. Sometimes when there's many comments and I answered one comment and I want to reply to that comment later, then it's sometimes really hard to find that comment again. So sometimes if I'm not answering, just write your answer in a new comment, then I see it again. It's not ideal how to manage if there's more comments. So I'm not overlooking your comments or anything, but sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I want to answer this later, and then I don't find it anymore because in the meantime, it's so many new ones, but I'm on it, guys. And that's the same thing for my buymeacoffee.com website, guys. I'm also on it. I'm answering these comments and I want to answer all of them. It's just the last few weeks, this eruption kept me really, really busy. I've been releasing almost like 2 videos per day, and that's a lot of time spent. And then I have 2 other jobs as well, so I'm struggling a little bit to get it all done, but I will get it done, I promise that. So yeah, guys, I hope you have a good in the middle of the night wherever you are, or a good morning, and have a tea or a coffee with me. And some of you wrote it's nighttime and you're having a vodka. That's also cool, right? Why not? So cheers, guys. And I hope to see you very, very soon in one of my next videos. And in the meantime, check out the videos in the end screen. And thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. I'm out of here. Bye.